What's up, guys? Hey, what is going on with this freaking housing market right now? Why the hell is everything so overpriced? Interest rates are going up. Where are we going with all of this? Guys, let's talk about this, and I want to break this down right from the beginning. All right, guys. In 2019, when rates were slashed to zero, everyone and their mother-in-law started pulling out as much dough as possible. You guys, the values of their homes skyrocketed. All real estate just skyrocketed. There was bidding wars on properties. Just very much the government was printing as much money as possible, so the value of everything was just frothy. All right, guys, and if you get up to a current day and where we're sitting right now, May 2022, basically homes, they're sitting on the market a little bit longer. Guys, we're starting to see rates climb to over 5%. It may even be touching 6% soon here. For a 30-year mortgage, that is unheard of. Way different rates than we've seen just 2 years ago. Guys, if I had any advice for you right now, I would just sit put. Sit on your cheap mortgage that you got when you refinanced or when you bought a home. Sit on that home. Do not go out and buy. You are going to lose your 3.5%, 4% mortgage. And you're going to be climbing into a 5.5%, 6% mortgage that you, even if you can afford it right now, I would strongly suggest you just sit on and hold tight while we go through this. Now you're like, Mark, I have the money and I plan to spend everything. It's going great. Everything looks to be fine. We are okay with the payment. Guys, I understand that, and I do. I understand 100%. I know it's going to change, though, by the end of 2022 here. It is already flipping into a buyer's market, and sellers are sitting on properties, and there's price drops now starting to see, almost unheard of the last couple of years. So as this completely flips onto a buyer's market, by the end of 2022, guys, and the beginning of 23, is going to be much different. You will see trucks starting to hit the parking lots and cars fill up. You'll see people slowing down spending money. They're going to have less money in their 401k. And this is what is going to happen because the government printed so much money, and now they're going to try to take back some of the money by dropping by increasing your interest rates and sucking money out of our 401ks and taking money from us just by raising the interest rates by 2-3%. So guys, I want to give you some interesting perspective on the last decade of housing and how you're being affected today, and are we really in a bubble or are we not? Guys, this is so interesting. We actually in the last decade have built the least amount of homes that we have in the last 80 years. Guys, you can see since the 1930s on this slide that basically we built 5.4 million homes, and now we are since the financial crisis in 2008, we've actually only built 5.8 million. This is way short. You can see obviously in the previous decades to this that we are just way short on homes. That's why everyone is looking for a home right now, because everything's at capacity. The apartments are capacity. The multifamily industry is just booming. The housing market is booming because we are short on homes. That's what's driving up price. All right, how did this happen? Okay, guys, this happens for multiple reasons. And since the 2008 crisis, banks now have more regulation than ever. They scope you down. You need to have really good credit. You need to have your debt to income right. They will fine-tooth comb your finances to make sure that you are able to handle the property. So there's more regulation than ever with the banks right now. Guys, I'm in construction. New buildings have stricter requirements and regulations than ever before. It gets worse every year. You have, in the southern climates, they have impact fees, environmental fees. They just feed the living God out of all of these properties. And every time you try to construct something, they want something overbuilt or more regulations based on requirements or permits needed. So all of this drives up our building costs, and it's not even fees due to lumber prices that have also skyrocketed, right? So everything is making it harder on builders to basically build homes. And there's just less builders overall since 2008 because of the crisis itself. And now banks make it harder for people to get construction notes. They make it harder for people to develop properties. So we're at an interesting point of time right now. Home affordability is at an all-time low. So we're short on homes and home affordability is super low. Guys, so wait a minute. We're in a housing bubble, but we're still short on homes. What the hell are we gonna do? Guys, what's happening is people are turning into renters. They're realizing that rent is just honestly gonna be easier and cheaper for them in the long run. Most people are getting to change their mindset from, I'm gonna build all my net worth into my house. However big that is, that's my net worth. Guys, that is not the case. If you know anything about accredited investors, I'll put a description below for you, but accredited investor, most banks don't consider your home being an asset to your net worth. Most people think that's my savings race. When I get that sucker paid for, that is what I'll live on. And that's how I'll contribute to my family. It is not the case. So guys, with everyone turning into a renter nation, there is for good reason why people are doing this. With home unaffordability at its all-time high, building costs are outrageous. Rent is out of control. Everything is obviously frothy right now. Things will change by the end of 2022. But it gives you an understanding why multifamily builders like myself, developers, I'm a multifamily investor. This is why we do it. Guys, there's an absolute shortage right now. It is going to take 50 plus years probably to catch up just because of how least amount of homes that we didn't build any homes last decade. So we're going to play constant catch up to try to get caught up. We're going to have to reduce regulation. We're going to have to reduce building home affordability. And the only way you can do that is by increasing density and doing some multifamily. So that's why that market is so strong. And that's why people ask, where do all these people come from? Well, they're coming from because there's no homes to buy that are affordable enough for them. So guys, another reason why I invest in real estate in itself and why we strictly invest into multifamily real estate is because it's going to have a strong future, and it's going to be lower risk. The future looks bright in it. Even if it's expensive, guys, people are going to turn to multifamily to invest in. And hopefully some of this, now you can understand why we are doing this. All right, guys, so there is uncertainty coming at the end of this year. And why is there uncertainty? Well, right now, inflation is 8.5%. Interest rates are 5%. They need to actually get interest rates raised up so we can bring that inflation down. Now, this May, we actually had an inflection point. We went from 8.5 to 8.3% inflation. Still super freaking high, but is an inflection point. It's a key point. So now, as interest rates keep climbing, they'll probably climb up to 6.5%. Hopefully that will bring down that inflation back into that 2 to 3% area, so we can then hopefully all the costs will come down, right? Like everything is so expensive right now. Inflation is here to stay for a little while, but if you are hoping to get into real estate right now, don't be buying at the top of the market right now. Wait till the end of 2022 and the beginning of 23. Guys, there's some opportunities coming up because it will flip to a buyer's market, and it already is. So stay patient. You will definitely appreciate it because you don't want to get in something you're going to regret right now. Just be patient. Guys, I hope you found this helpful and it provides some value on what's happening in the market right now. Inflation is real, and so is the interest rates. Keep an eye on this. This is affecting your wallet right now. If you're able to, please share and subscribe to this channel. It just kind of gives me some love and brings me some motivation to help bring in content. But this is stuff I think about, and I want to keep providing value. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.